afternoon. I'm Chief Edmonds from the Retiree Activities Office out at Travis Air Force Base. During today's segment of the video series during Retiree Appreciation Week, October 2020, we're going to talk about ID card renewals in the age of COVID-19. We hope you'll find this section of video very helpful and useful in taking care of your ID card needs in the future. So without much more delay, let's go ahead and jump into two segments. The first segment, we're going to cover use of the ID card office online portal through the DoD website, and then we'll go into the briefing about availability of appointments, ID card expiration dates, and other things you'll need to do to prepare for your trip out to the Pass and ID shop. Okay, the first thing you need to do is get into your web browser. It could be Microsoft Edge, Apple Safari, Google, Yahoo. Doesn't matter which one, they'll all get you to the same location. Anyway, all you need to do is in your browser search bar, you type in the ID card office online in the search bar. Take a look down the page. You'll see this ID card office online. The link is https://idco.osd.mil/idco. So just left click on that link, and it should take you to the ID card office online web portal. If you're looking to make an ID card appointment, you would click under the continue button under the ID card office locator and appointments. Currently, the only location I know of in Northern California that are scheduling appointments through this portal is the Beale Air Force Base Pass and ID card shop. So I'm going to use them as an example. Later, when Travis opens up the ID cards renewals up at the Pass and ID shop in 381, you should be able at that time to use this to make appointments there as well. Our office will let you know by email and in the quarterly newsletters when that happens. Okay, when you click on continue, it brings you to this ID card office locator and appointments section. So what you want to do here in this first box where it says enter location is you just enter your city, state, and zip code if you know it. So I'm going to enter Beale Air Force Base, since we're going to use them as the example. And then I'm going to put 10 miles because I know that Beale's locations are going to pop up when I click on the search option. So here under search for, just leave it as all. And on the date range, just since I know it's October already and that there's nothing in October right now that's available, I'll just go ahead and punch in 1 for 11/1/2020 through the end of the month, 11/30/2020. And you hit search. And this will take a few seconds, so let's be patient here. And then when it's finished with the search, it will bring up this map and the locations on Beale. Beale has two offices available. They've got the one under the 9th Force Support Squadron, and then there's another one for the reserves. We've been doing it through the 9th FSS. So you just click on select, and then it'll bring up the schedule and their location. So if you'll take a look here, it's got their phone number. So if you need to get additional information from them, just write that number down, and be sure to write down the address if you're driving in from some distance and you're using a GPS unit to get out to Beale. And then here you just hit click on the schedule an appointment button. Now this site does have some problems. I did give it a search date, but you'll see it defaulted back to October, which is the current month. But if you hear select November from the drop-down box. It'll bring up the schedule, and as you see, at the beginning of the month, they're mostly booked. Around the 12th, they start picking up open appointments. So if you want to make an appointment on one of these dates, you just click on it. So let's take a look at the 17th of the month. We'll click on that box. And then if you'll go down to the bottom, it lists all the dates and times that they have available where you can come in and get an appointment. So just select the the time that's convenient for you, and then just click on book this appointment. So we're going to say we want one at 10 o'clock. So you click on it. It'll bring up the book appointment for November 17th, 2020, 10 o'clock in the morning. So all you do is just follow the prompts. It's pretty self-explanatory. First name, last name, phone number, your email address, and then from the drop down, you put the sponsored personnel type. So you look down the list until you find retiree, retired. Or if you reserve retiree. And then sponsored branch of service, again, that's drop down. If you're Air Force, you just click on Air Force. If you're one of the other services, just pick it. Okay, now that we've got that far, we're just going to go ahead and cancel out of this because I don't want to take up their server space with a bogus appointment in their system. So we'll cancel that out. Anyway, that's the short and sweet of using this site. I would recommend that before heading out to ID card appointment, you go to the site, get the location, give them a call to confirm any documents you need to bring with you to affect your ID card renewal. You might also want to get the address so you can program it into your GPS. And always give yourself extra time. When we went out to get my wife's ID card renewed, our GPS did have some problems once we got past South Beale Road. We also had issues once we were on the base getting off, so there's something there that's interfering with the satellite signal. Anyway, we hope you'll find this portal very useful and helpful in your attempts to get your ID cards renewed in the future. Have a good day, and we look to seeing you out at the Travis Retiree Activities Office from time to time. Good day. Okay, we're going to talk about ID card renewals in the time of COVID-19. The COVID-19 pandemic has changed a lot of services that are available on base, and this one has been pretty well impacted by the shelter-in-place order that we've got going on at the installation right now. Here are the new expiration dates for the current ID cards that expired after 1 January of this year. ID cards that expired after 1 January 2020 are now valid through 30 June 2021. Cards expired after 1 January 2020 should not be confiscated by security police or any pass and ID section until that 30 June 2021 date hits. Cards should still be good for accessing DEER services, i.e. making medical appointments, visiting the commissary exchange, and using MWR activities until 30 June 2021. And after that time, cards are subject to confiscation unless DoD extends the expiration dates again. ID card renewal appointments. Currently, the Travis Pass and ID is not taking retiree spouse ID card renewal appointments. They're only handling active duty mission essential ID card and common access card issues and renewals. They will do emergency reissues for lost and stolen ID cards and reissue of spouse ID cards and DEERS updates on the death of a military retiree sponsor. They will also handle electronic ID card EID renewals submitted online. If you opt to do the EID card renewal, that card will only be good for a year, so you'll be in a year later to renew that ID card once it's issued. If you're really worried about having access to base facilities and medical appointments through David Grant Medical Center, There are options for getting that card renewed right now. Currently, Beale Air Force Base's Pass and ID section is scheduling renewal appointments through the ID card office online web portal. Appointments are available in mid-November. Access the ID card office online by typing ID card office online in your web browser search box, i.e., be Microsoft Edge, Safari, Google, Yahoo, and Internet Explorer if you're still using it. The 349th AMW Pass and ID section on Travis and the United States Coast Guard Training Center at Petaluma will do ID card renewals, but you'll need to call them to make an appointment. The 349th telephone number is 707-424-2348, and the United States Coast Guard Training Center Petaluma's Pass and ID number is 707-765-7354. Get prepared for your trip out to the Pass and ID shop when you get ready to have it renewed. Since things tend to change at the last moment, always call before heading out to the renewal appointment. Save your time and gas and their time by confirming the proof of identity documents you'll need to bring with you to have the card renewed. Program a little extra drive time into your trip to account for traffic delays. It's better to be early than late, and you won't have to come back at a later date. If you don't want to make an appointment through the ID card, if you want to make an appointment through the ID card office online for Beale, and you don't have a computer, tablet, smartphone, or internet service, call the Retiree Activities Office at 707-424-3904, and we'll be happy to make that appointment for you and print out a confirmation for you that we can email to you as a PDF.